I'm about to make a song called Tidal Wave.
Make a song called Tidal Wave.
Should I do it right now?
I'll see you at the crib too.
I bet. Yeah. Shoot your shot. Ball don't lie, the ball don't lie. Hey, hey, hey. Ball don't lie, the ball don't lie. Shoot your shot, yeah. Ball don't lie, the ball don't lie. Just shoot your shot, yeah. Never has. I like it a lot, yeah. I got the rock in my hand, bitch, so we got a shot. They don't speak my language, we don't gotta talk. We been gone for days and it don't gotta stop. I like it a lot, like it a lot. Shoot your shot. It's exciting. It's an exciting day. There's already a celebration in the air when you walk. When you walk the streets of Nashville, there's like a celebratory vibe. I try to explain it to people. Like, you can go to New York, you go to Chicago, you go down. There's some great energy. There's a lot of people, people, everyone hustling and bustling. If you're down here, you're turning up. You're here to like. There's an undertone of celebration, literally, because like it's bachelorette parties, birthdays. Anyone in the South, in the Midwest, looking for a fun place that's not gonna do Vegas. The last time we filmed a Ball Don't Lie conversation was about like 3 months ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. We did all that in Scottsdale. I've lived in 3 other places since then, haven't I? Where'd I go? Montana.
I've been in Montana, and you've been here for sure. And
where else were we? Tampa. I was in Tampa and at Stroman's house for 2 months. Yeah, so it's been a while. It's been a while. Tried to corral your ass to every location. Montana got lukewarm, never really got hot.
The coolest thing about the Montana thing, though, that I got to see from a distance was the thing that's helped me through the Ball Don't Lie and everything else is Eben. And
he's the shit, that
man,
dude.
What a lesson I learned, and what a dope thing I got to sit back and see through the You Never Know podcast that you guys did together, because that guy is fucking sharp.
He's the best.
That guy is sharp.
Dude, when I stumbled upon him, like, obviously, it's interesting because I remember I introduced you to the hot boxing, and then like we both like said we loved Eben. And I remember in Scottsdale, you might have like an exchanged DM with him or something. And at that point, he was on hot boxing. We were just fans. And I was thinking, let's get Johnny on hot boxing. That would be a great conversation. And then I was gonna hit Eben at the right time about that. And then around that time, I'm in Montana. I see on YouTube like, hey, like this, the new hot boxing episodes didn't have Eben. There was like an uproar in the comment. Like I went to the Instagram, it was like thousands and thousands of comments like, where the fuck is Eben?
Well, the guy's the vibe, bro. The guy's
and they fucked up. They fucked up.
I mean, to each his own, man. Maybe that things always go certain ways. You don't understand.
For sure.
The guy has mobbed it and handled it on his own to where he's like,
I
get it. He gets it.
Yeah.
He gets it, whether a lot of people don't, which is the dopest part. When you can handle and take what some people accept as failure and just choosing your own right of it, it's not meant to be, and you move on and mod it and grow with it and make you better.
And dude,
that's something I saw as like, damn, that's how you handle a situation like that.
Yeah, and in person, like when we first talked, like we had a heart-to-heart, like the first phone call. I had messaged him, I was like, it's fucked up, I need you back on hot box, and he was laughing. I was like, yo, I'm in Montana. I knew he was like a big nature guy, and I was just like, yo, come catch this vibe out here. And he fucking drove. He drove from LA.
Sick. Never
met the guy. But we had a heart-to-heart, and I was just like, dude, this guy's, he's like, he doesn't even know it, but he's like hilarious, and he's like fucking Paul Bunyan walking around, like, but he's like spiritual. Like he's like huge guy, just looks like he's out of a movie. It's weird, the whole thing, and the vibe is the same in person. But he was like super honest in person, just like he was in the trenches about it, and it was amazing to see him. He literally like, we did 3 episodes. By the end, he was like had talked himself through it, and was just like, it almost had helped him just to have the conversation and like not even that he needed it, but it like fleshed it out for him, and you could tell he's like.
I think we've seen that in a lot of stuff that like we've done around people. I think it's we're getting away from like the mainstream like type of shit where it's okay to just be a dude and be a bro and hang back and have some fun and still continue. Like I learn more through my guys, man, like being around dudes and you doing something that you share with me that I share with somebody else between my collection of people, and it's fun watching when you have a group of people around you that you vibe with heavy, how much better you can get from person to person, from me to you to Cody to these guys. And funny thing, just talking about the Eben thing the other day, how this whole podcast kind of started when we were watching Hot Boxing.
Yeah.
I walked into I went to SW Steakhouse in Vegas the other day, and Tyson Fury's in there. I go see Josh and Jeff. I walk in there, and I went up to him,
Josh
said
and
hello
Jeff,
to him.
biggest legends in the game, by the way.
I walk up to him, and I'm like, dude, the reason I'm doing what I'm doing, this podcast and things like that, which he probably has no idea about, right? But I'm like, me and my boys sit down and watch your episode of Hot Boxing with Mike Tyson. And I'm like, dude, that literally changed the outcome of what I'm doing today and where I'm trying to go in my life. Of the,
I remember
the
that.
party between what it is and what it should be, and getting to a balance of where you can have fun and still and still be successful and continue to grow moving forward.
And what did you get to talk to him?
I did. It was great, man. It was really cool.
Seems
to have
like a
that
sweetheart.
moment man, sick.
How was
Looking
Josh and
forward
Jeff?
to that. The legends per usual. Same way from the first
best.
time I ever met him with you. Continuing to going around and have random events happening where you're meeting fucking dope people is what it's all about. I don't run into bad people anymore. If you surround yourself with people who are successful and good, it continues to ooze and go down different cracks to where
And it's interesting
it all
though,
goes together.
because I agree with you, but people who aren't in the bar scene or in like going out or going to parties, it's kind of like this blanket idea about that scene that like everyone sucks, that you frequent at these bars and these parties, and it's like if you're not really in that world, it seems extra and it seems like it's dead-ended, but it's just not the case. You know what I mean? Like that's where I feel like I've found my wave, and I feel like you're right in that sweet spot too, where we're still partying. I still go. There's times I send it harder than I ever sent it still, and I have that bone in my body. It's just a lot less frequent. I'm a lot less frequent than you even, because I just need, not even.
Good luck, bro.
Yeah, I'm not really even, you're kicking my ass in that department.
It's not a kick in the ass. Just like
Maybe I'm kicking your ass.
No,
It's a better way of looking at it.
You can't hurt me, dog. I'm built different.
No, but dude,
built
what I'm
different.
saying is like, I can really agree with that initial statement. It's just like, it's really your vibe and your outlook. No, it doesn't matter what you're doing. Like I said, you can look at party and be like, oh, it's a waste of time. Nothing good will come out of that. It's not true. Like those guys, Josh and Jeff, I was just talking about, they're some of the most successful people I've ever been around. And they're the nicest, most generous, humble guys. And I met them on a wave. And these are the things that would have never happened if you didn't go to LA. So, we've shit on LA in this podcast a decent amount, talking about certain aspects of that. But, at the same time, it is a special place. It attracts some special people. It just also attracts a lot of noise too.
And the
static.
connections and people that you meet out there is just as good as anywhere it could ever be. And I met great people out there that I still talk to this day. But we're stuck in the middle of trying to find a balance and live super free. I'm done with the days of being tied down and having to be looked at as this type of way or have to answer to people. I only answer to myself.
Yeah.
I only do what I want to do and try and find a way to
you
build a
gotta-
schedule and build a balance.
You got to feel good. Like, how do you feel about yourself after? Because like, what I'm saying is, you're still partying, you're still having a good time, and so am I. I've kind of been partying here more than I have in the last probably 6 to 8 months. But I do feel like when you get like confident with the way you're approaching things and the way you feel, I know I've been doing the work when I'm not out. Like I know that I've been in a positive mindset. So it actually really is helpful for me to like be out and be on a wave, especially trying to finish an album. But like I get value in that as long as I'm looking at it the right way. You know what I mean? As long as I'm approaching, I guess, overall life the right way. Partying is just an extension of it.
It's your mindset, the way that you say you're living your life to somebody else on the outside may be viewed as something that's not right.
It's interesting.
You answer to yourself and what you think is right and what you want to be judged by or whatever you say it is. You only judge yourself.
How was Vegas? How was Vegas this last trip?
I mean, man, I took it with a smile on my face for losing a little bit of money, but like, I keep coming back to this. My guys, like, you can put me with 3 or 4 of my best dogs and a solid crew and go absolutely
Who
anywhere.
all went out
It didn't
there?
have to be Vegas. We had the normal crew, Cody, Kevin. I got to run into my agent for a little bit, Kingsbury, like some guys who I have great connections with, and that's what it's all about. Like, I'm surrounding myself with people that I want to be around and want to be around me, and it's a blast. Doesn't get any better. It's real, it's free, it's true.
Yeah, for sure. And Vegas is one of those spots, you like it more than I do, but once you have a good group of buddies that you can go with and they're connected at the right places, it can be really, really
I wouldn't
fun.
say I like it still to this day. I walk leaving away with a sour taste in my mouth every time.
I always get my ass kicked, and I don't really like gambling anyway, so it's just kind of, I mean, obviously some of the best like big link ups. There's some big things that go there, obviously, but I don't know. It's not huge for me. Nashville, I fuck with Nashville. How do you feel?
I'm just a country music guy, man. My music taste over the years has changed from like pure hip hop and rap to just almost 90% country.
Yeah.
Unless it's an artist that I really know or follow or what it is. Like, I enjoy it. I enjoy what it does to my mood and my vibe. And it's something that reminds me of being a kid. And I'm slowly starting to get back to things that I used to do as a kid. I enjoy it. The golf thing's been a huge thing. I didn't do that a lot during my like middle years type of thing.
Now, when you say you've been on a bender, would you say that you've been playing golf throughout it?
Absolutely. My golf club has traveled every single trip with me throughout the whole
That
time.
says something.
Yeah, from Cabo to Vegas to here. Day in a little pit stop in Scottsdale. But
You play everywhere?
yeah,
How's it been?
it's been a blast. Still really shitty at times. Still getting a little better somewhere.
Yeah.
Good and then bad. That's what it is. It's an easy game. You look what happened in the golf tournament this weekend.
Yeah.
Phil Mickelson's 50 years old. He wins.
Crazy.
I've watched I watch golf almost every single week from Thursday to Sunday, and guys been all over the place. To go out and win like that, it's crazy. It can be really good and really bad.
That we were just up on the roof. You were talking about the spot you played today, the Grove.
Grove, awesome.
Insane.
I mean, really, really good. I was talking to the people that were members there, and I'm like, it's crazy how well kept, well maintained. Like, you should enjoy this place for what it is because they care how nice this is. You can tell. So.
I can tell you guys were serious. Cody too.
We had a blast. I played 200 plus rounds of golf last year, and that's easily one of the top 20 best courses I played in the last 200 rounds. Really, really, really nice.
Love that.
Really nice. That's what Nashville is, though. We're gonna play all week. Go to a Preds game. Hopefully, get a little.
I saw the Preds hollered at you on
Great,
Twitter.
dude. I just want to go do a chug bud in the Preds game. Maybe put it in my pocket. Go do a little chug bud.
Probably.
There's no probably. It's gonna happen.
We need that.
It's gonna happen. No.
My buddy, so the Bussin' with the Boys. Shout out to the Bussin' with the Boys.
Absolutely.
This is their guys, Alex. I hit them up day of today. Like, I went over and did Ernest last week and met these guys, but day of said, "Hey, Johnny's coming in. Might need you." Kilmer took off, and they fucking hustled over, set us up.
We were talking about this
Professional
earlier.
gang over there, Bussin' with the Boys. That whole gang.
I like the overlap. We're just a bunch of real guys trying to hang out and like kick it and just talk.
No, it's a good vibe. They got a good
is.
vibe here in Nashville. Like, a bunch of people have brought them up to me, and then when you landed, I had already group text with those guys like, "Yo, let's get Bottom Line over on the bus." So
Why not?
we'll be there.
We love Barstool. We love Bussin'. We love the whole little umbrella is a good deal.
I think you missed Prez by a day. Prez was here yesterday, right? Yeah, Prez was doing Bussin'. Have you ran into him at all anywhere?
I ran into him in South Beach a couple months ago.
How's the vibe?
Great vibe.
Yeah,
Guy crushes it.
he does crush it.
I'm a habitual Barstool reader, man. Like for my freshman year in college, every single day I didn't check any ESPN. I checked Barstool.
I know.
Everything.
It's
all day, uploaded it, looked 50 times a day. So see what it is now.
Barstool's really, really impressive.
It's a global media conglomerate, bro. It's a big fucking deal.
I would argue, given how incredible the overall company has done, and since just the growth, the exponential growth, I would argue that his personal just brand development and growth and who he is as a person and like has been even more impressive. Because it's like, bro, he has like a really interesting reach. Like, he's gonna fuck around and be like one of the more famous people in the world in like 5 years.
He just doesn't give. He gives a fucking away about what he believes in.
No, he's good at it.
His morals and what he believes in and what he's taught and told himself is important. He oozes that more than anybody I've ever seen, which is the dopest thing. Which is a great way to live, man. If you're justified in yourself and your actions and what you believe in, it doesn't matter what the fuck it may be. Somebody is gonna differ in opinion from you.
Right.
This guy's the best, this, that. Somebody's gonna completely look the other way and be on the other side of it. But if you believe it in your core and what you think is right and justified, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
And he oozes that
He has
to the most.
There's a crazy little touch and feel he has with being because he can be confrontational, and he has this army of people, like this tone that he's created with Barstool, and specifically him, when he'll like call you out, and it's like slightly joking. It's not ever like serious enough to where you're like, fuck this guy. But he's like kind of trolling you, but like he has this really good feel where he doesn't bother you. Like he does it in
There's
a way.
a fine line between being a troll and being a dick.
Yeah, he just does it, and it's not really even trolly. It's just like part of his personality. Like, yo, if you challenge him, like he'll go out of his way to like discredit it or
The guy's just on
disprove
his
it.
shit. He's on top of it.
But it's impressive what he's done with it. It really is. Like, I mean,
Can't
dude,
help but be happy for him. The one thing we talk about when we do this is like how much our other homies, for Sachi, Blue, Foley, Kilmer, all the guys get a chance to be a part of it. Break bread together, do the whole thing together. He's got to do that with Barstool for all of his boys. Big Cat, everybody else, and that's dope. Caleb, for example, one of our boys, right? We did the Sunday conversation, we did the whole thing.
he's the man.
The man. When I met him for the first time, bro, and he comes up to me and he's like, I'm gonna be a professional golfer. I'm like, fucking dope. How many times you played? He goes, never.
He's dead serious, too.
Dude, dead ass. I'm like walking to the room to do the interview, and I'm kind of like joking about it. He's serious. Obviously, we've all plugged together and done the whole thing, and that's made me want to go fucking play golf. Who cares if I shoot this? It's like, this is what I want to do in my life, and I think I'm good enough and justified and believe in myself enough to do it. Fuck what you
Why
have
not?
to think. It's what I want to do with my time. You do what you want with yours.
Yeah. It's interesting. It really is interesting when you say it in layman's terms. I mean, this is part of what we've talked about as an undertone of this whole thing, but realizing just that, it's just like, dude, why the fuck, why does it even matter? Why does it even impact anyone else? Like, if you're gonna make it and make rent next month, the only reason they'll be like, yo, you know, like you get those comments online in that undertone of like something you're doing with your life that, you know, they might deem like, oh, you're not like making the proper decision or the correct decision given the God-given talent you've had, right? How does that impact them in any way?
It doesn't.
It just doesn't, though. You know what I mean? And it's hard for, even this day and age, though. Just think about it. If you go, bro, every time I go on my phone, less and less every fucking week, really. Because I go on, bro, and someone's upset about something every time, bro.
Well, the thing
Every time.
The thing to do is to just be able to decipher what fits into what you want to see versus what is just bullshit that is there no matter what. That's the part about social media. It's given every single person on the face of the earth a voice that you see that may affect you.
Yeah.
This guy that you don't know what it is or whatever says something that affects what you're doing with your day or how you react or how your behavior is. So for me, I use social media as a key more now just to interact with people that I want to.
Yeah.
And I've been really bad about this over the past course of the year, but definitely getting better, is just ignoring the bullshit that you see online that doesn't fit the narrative or so out of sight that you know isn't true. And I focus and look more on the people that I can outreach and continue to meet and continue to network with and continue to try and grow moving forward. Like, for example, coming to Nashville, I'm like, fuck, man, I want to play some golf. I've had my phone just blow up with people who would love to go do that, have a couple tee times set up, but I'm meeting people, having fun. We'll pay our own way, we'll do whatever it may be, but still I'm getting to interact with who I want to, rather than the people that are chirping about something they have no idea what it's about.
Yeah, no, when I say that, like I literally found myself being bothered by something.
It's hard not to. You
I
have
was
to
literally bothered.
You have to condition yourself to get to a point where it doesn't faze you. And I used to be the worst back in the day. When I was in college, fucking chirp you about anything.
Yeah.
Want to say something to me? Fuck you. Every time.
It comes, doesn't we know that.
What do you really win in the battle, though? When you go online and you say this about somebody or this and that, only way you win in lying on something like this is you got more retweets or likes or this or that. In the grand scheme of things, I've been talking about this with all my boys lately, is like the killing them with kindness and just wishing people the best and whatever it may be. Bro, it's the way you win. You don't win by chirping somebody harder than they chirped you and getting more people to fucking like it. It's all trash.
Yeah.
It's all bullshit in the grand scheme of things.
Me and Cody just talked about this. It literally comes from a place of like insecurity.
That's it. It's your own shit,
really
your own
does.
personal problem, your ego, your this, your that makes you feel like you have to respond. I tell Cody this all the time, like, bro, can't waste your time on people that don't fucking even, you'll never see, never interact with again. They're just chirping you to make your day shittier.
Right.
Go focus on yourself. Wish people the best. Still shitty at this all the time. That's the one thing that we talk about on this that I don't even think we really talked about a lot. I think a lot of people have maybe looked at Ball Don't Lie in the sense of like, me and you were sitting here like we fucking know it all and we're preaching or doing this and that. Bro, we're fucking human. We're the biggest shit bombs on the face of the earth.
Yeah.
We don't feel like we know anything better than anybody else. This is just our experience and our life through what we see in our lens, and you can vibe with it or you can't. And that's really what I want to say about this whole show and what we do and why we talk is, it's me and one of my boys sitting down and the experience we have through life, and you interpret it the way you do or you don't. You vibe with it or you unfollow. And for me, it's like, I don't want to see shit I don't want to see in my life.
Yeah.
I follow what I want to follow. I go to what I want to go to. So rock with it.
Yeah.
And if you don't, I wish you and your family the best and mahalo. Dead ass, bro.
Do you feel like a lot of people have been chirping you about it?
Nah. I just think that's what it is, bro. To my core of like, I don't think anybody's been chirping me about anything. It's just to the point of like, that's what I feel like this is.
Yeah.
I want to get our message of what we do and why we do this. We're not preaching.
Man,
This is what I see through my lens. You either come to it a little bit and see it, or you don't have to.
I mean, I don't know. My fans definitely know just because they've followed. I've had the other podcasts, and dude, if I was going to wait to do podcasts before I felt like I knew what I was doing and, felt ready, like I could really do it to the top elite level, like I wouldn't even be starting yet. You know what I mean? I just started having these conversations, but like the overall undertone is like, I just try to share things that I know have helped me. I can at least sit in my chair right now and look at the guy I was 2 years ago. Really. Like I have a really crystal clear view of that guy.
We were both in way different places
I don't
2 years ago.
I don't like that guy at all
Whatsoever.
comparatively to like, and not that I was wronging anyone or anything, but I just wasn't on the vibe was slightly negative and like a lot of expectations, like even just in my day-to-day, the mundane things, like taking things for granted and just, so it's really easy for me to have these conversations, and I think people can tell they're candid and not coming from, because really I'm just trying to talk through the things that I'm going through and I'm learning. I know it's helped me, so I share it. You know what I mean? And if
I still try and learn from you and see things you do, whether it's through social media or calling you or whatever it may be. But like your normal day of like what you do, your meditation, your vibe, just spending time with yourself, doing shit like that. Like I'm still working on that to the max, but I'm learning through it and trying to like, I know what I feel like I need to work on. I know where I'm at, and you just keep growing. You keep going.
Exactly. I've literally been through it with my guys because they all like kind of big leagued all the meditation, and they came around. They started coming around to it, but it took a long time. So even you just like thinking about it, that's the beginning of you being able to do it. You know, because something in you is telling like, oh, that's interesting. You know, like I would do that. You know,
I can know in my life right now that it's not I say I'm gonna do something, do it right away type of thing for me in my life.
Yeah.
Like if I know something I feel like is gonna make me better or I need to work on, like sometimes it takes me a little bit to ease into it. And I'm still at a point in my life that over the last couple of years I haven't had to do a ton of shit that I've been uncomfortable with. Like I've just done whatever I want to do, whenever I want to do it, and shit's cushy and chill and fucking, I'm a pampered little bitch, pretty much.
We've talked about this.
I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone to be able to go into places of getting to the point of doing things that I don't want to do all the time. I think it'll make me hella better. Each step is still a place where I know I'm supposed to be doing it. I know I want to do it, but I'm slower than probably would be anticipated.
Yeah. I mean, that's just something at one point it's going to switch, it's going to go off and be like, I'm ready to do it. You know
we're getting there.
Yeah. You know what I'm thinking of when you say this? Hot yoga.
We talked about this on the phone though.
For me, yeah, on the phone. Like for me, it was like, I remember having that conversation with you and just being like, man, it's so humbling. Like these old women like are kicking my ass in there.
I like the story of what happened from it whenever you walked outside and that guy asked you for some money.
Yeah, I'm literally borderline hyperventilating. I left the class early. It was so hot in there, bro, and I was hungover. I was pretty sure I was rolling off a bean the night before. But I didn't miss that. I go to class, I fucking borderline die in there. I get out. I'm like soaked in sweat laying on the ground in this fucking shopping plaza, and this dude who works out, like, who cooks the ribs at this like meat, the fuck was it? I can't think of the word. It wasn't like a meat, it was like a meat shop store where you like buy butcher, kind of like a butcher in that ballpark. And we caught a crazy vibe. I sat and talked to him for like 45 minutes. Just had like the best conversation. And I really hadn't done that with like a stranger in such a long time. I was living in my little bubble of like, but it was, and he was like, yeah, I can't exactly remember some of the points he had. He said some crazy shit.
So speaking on that, like I'm just from doing the podcast, we obviously haven't been around each other a ton, but it's crazy seeing what it does with my interactions with people around town or in Scottsdale or Old Town or shit.
Yeah.
The first time we had no mask in Scottsdale, we go out, me and Ruby, and we're like, we're gonna bounce around, do this, and it was so packed. It's crazy. I just need to go breathe for a second. I go upstairs, sit at the bar, just having a drink, and this guy comes up. Crazy how much I'm able just to interact and converse with strangers who are like, yo, what's up, man? Listen to the pod. Nice to meet you. Pleasure. My interactions with people are better. It's way more chill and laid back because I feel like one of the guys now. It's what it feels like after doing this.
100%.
We start talking. He's like, man, me and my pops will never forget the day you guys beat Alabama, these plays. I remember him sending me the highlights, the whole thing. We start chopping it up. Probably 30 minutes go by, and I was exchanging numbers with this guy. Like, gonna go have lunch with him, doing the whole thing. The very end of it, I'm like, bro, you don't know me. I don't know you. Just from what we've sat and talked today, do you think I got anything to be ashamed of? And the fact that I'm even at this point right now in my life where I can just go up to a guy and chop it up like that, and like obviously this guy gets my vibe, and just ask him, and he goes, man, I see both sides of it. I see the side of what people thought you should be, and I see the life that you still live and the person that you've never changed from what I've seen in my eye. I'm like, dap him up, we're gonna go have lunch soon.
Love that.
Just cool at the point of my life what this podcast has done for me, just to be able to have people come up and chop it up. Yeah. I almost get an episode of Ball Don't Lie with random people around the street sometimes in the right setting, right? Yeah. It's not all the time.
Oh, I do too.
Like there's times where I'm in the club, I'm like, boy, you're chirping my ear off. We gotta... Still, like it's been fun to see like what it's done. I've enjoyed the hell out of it.
Yeah, I could speak to it honestly. I've obviously been doing podcasts myself longer, but my interactions out there have definitely been different. People definitely have a different window into who we are, and just being able to, I think that's why podcasts are such a big hit. It's because you can really feel when you know something's like literally on the fly and authentic, and you could just feel it. It's different than having a favorite actor play a role that, you know, or even just like the more mainstream media approach to interviews and conversations and
I think it's dope that people will sit around and fucking listen to us chop it up.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, even if no one was fucking listening, I think that's what I try to tell people. I always
said if one person came back and was like, fucking, this helped me, I'd be like,
oh,
that's it. I'm not doing
I get so many of those.
I'm not doing this to be a number1 fucking podcast and this and that and do this. But I just want to try and help some people and speak a little bit and talk and share a little bit of my story and what goes on through my lens, and I'm vibing.
Well, you could say that, but Ball Don't Lie, the branding and the Ball Don't Lie stuff we've launched since since I saw you. But I think the Ball Don't Lie thing is really fucking cool, and the branding Foley's been doing is really cool. I think we've dropped a few. We're gonna drop another one.
The merch, all the
really
stuff
cool.
is great.
And I think
we get to the point where we're talking about doing this moving forward. It's like we want to go around to some college campuses and start doing some of this stuff. Like I would love nothing more than to go to 5-6 show college campuses, and just have a live Ball Don't Lie, bro. Dude, I think that's something we fucking.
It would be a like if we did a Ball Don't Lie mini tour within my music tour, right?
Or who can beat me and Mike at fucking beer pong.
That's the Bellina Cup. We got all types of tours to do. but the fucking Ball Don't Lie, the Ball Don't Lie, you come on, I'm playing in college towns a lot of the time. So you go on, we'll set up with the campuses, and you go out and play around with, on the college campus and like play with the team or, whatever, and just like do a Ball Don't Lie. Like that could be a really cool vlog thing where like having a fan in each town and come out and play as your partner and you play on the local.
What are the chances we're gonna get you on the golf course soon?
I can't say they're high. And I'll tell you why.
You can throw a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, but you can't hit a golf ball that's still...
No, I'll tell you why. Because I feel like for me to go, like if I were to start playing golf right now, I think I'd be okay, right?
You're gonna suck.
Yeah, I would suck, for sure. But I think I would be okay to the point where I'd be like, ooh, if I played for a while, I could get good at this. And I already don't feel like I have enough time to do the shit I want to do. And I know golf can be really meditative for people and really peaceful and all that shit, which I love. So yes, I will play. But for me to get good at it, I'd have to spend so much time. It's like starting.
Who says you have to be? Who says you have to be good at it in the next 5 years?
But I'm gonna want to. Is my point. So if I go there and when I step in the water and my toesies get wet,
we got life.
I'm gonna wanna,
we got music. We got podcasts. We got partying. We got a whole bunch of other shit. But at least golf can be a little bit up, other than.
No, I agree. It could evolve to be in. It could evolve into a category.
Well, I'm just gonna go ahead and you don't have a fucking choice. Mm-hmm. So. Let's put it that way. You gotta come play.
Have you seen my hack?
I've been around a couple of your.
What do you think about it?
Work in progress. You ask Max Homo what he thinks.
Pretty bad.
About it. We'll send it to Max. I'll send it to him on.
Max
on
will have a field day. He's been waiting for this. I ran into Max and he's actually the next YNK podcast coming out. We had a great.
Saw that today.
I ran into Max after he played the what was it? Valspar, yes. And he kind of. He had a disappointing last day, but he had a great weekend. And I was in town. I stayed an extra night because he was like, yo, let's go out. So we went out. Fucked up Tampa. As much as you could fuck up Tampa. And when I mean fucked up Tampa, I mean we played beer pong in the parking lot at McDinton's. You know that like Irish bar? Have you been over there? Probably never. He's like, why would I ever go to Tampa? I actually love Tampa. It kind of has a great vibe.
I'm not mad at it.
But had a great, he legit kicked my ass in beer pong.
That's what's about to happen in half an hour.
Don't say that.
We do this every time. We do this dance.
Don't say that.
Still an ego thing, obviously.
Did you ask what
podcast?
Ask Kevin what happened the other night.
Still co-anchors that don't fucking agree on this topic.
I ran Kevin for big digits the other night. It got ugly for him.
Won't run me for big digits right now.
All right. What do you think about? Actually, this is a great intro into this, and we can end here. Let's ask the people, our listeners. What do you think about a little high stakes game of beer pong, Belina Cup, me versus you?
As long as you stream it and people get to see it.
Oh, we're gonna stream it. I mean, you were in the Belina Cup and you got kicked out. You got knocked out in the first round. So.
There's percentages that go to this. This history, we're not gonna talk about it. I would love.
You actually shot well.
I would love nothing more. The main question I have for you is like, should we go down Broadway?
Yeah. What time is it right now?
Go time.
Time for Broadway. Good to have you back, sir. So you're gonna be here a few weeks?
Forever.
Forever? All right. Cool.
At least a couple.
Good to have you back. We're back. Ball don't lie.